Hey there, in this video I'm going to talk about what it means when a garment is cut on the bias. So there are two basic types of fabric, knits and wovens. A knit fabric example might be a t-shirt, and an example of a woven shirt would be, say, a button-down shirt. So if you think about a t-shirt, you pull it on over your head, it's stretchy. If you think about a button-down, it's not stretchy. That's one of the reasons why it has buttons, so you can get into it, right? So knit fabrics and woven fabrics are constructed, it's just two different ways to construct a fabric and to handle the threads. So I've got a little diagram here. So knit fabrics are formed from loops that you would make, say if you're knitting a sweater. And a t-shirt is made the same way, but on a machine and with really tiny, tiny loops, so you might not even realize they're there. So woven fabrics are made by weaving the fabrics over and under each other at 90-degree right angles, like you might have done on a loom when you were a kid. So one of the reasons why the knit fabric is so stretchy is because when you pull on that fabric, those loops can sort of extend out, whereas with the woven fabric, it's already extended out. There's no way to give anymore there. So what happens when you cut a garment on the bias? That's talking about using a woven fabric, not a knit fabric, but only you can do it, I guess, but it's really mostly only talked about when you're talking about a woven fabric. And so woven fabric, this is the same fabric of the shirt that I'm wearing. What you do to make it on the bias is you turn it at a 45-degree angle instead of a 90-degree angle, and so it's on the diagonal. And when you do that, you actually get some stretch in there, okay? So on the regular, no stretch. On the diagonal, you get some stretch. So this fabric square from corner to corner on the diagonal measures about 13 inches. When you stretch it, you can get up to about 15 inches. So you actually can get about 2 inches stretch over that length, that span. So the reason why that's helpful is because it gives a little stretch to your woven shirt. So I really like these woven fabrics, but they can be hard to get in and out of, and it's also style-wise, you have to make them a little more boxy in order to get them to fit right. So, but if you do it on the bias, the bias actually molds to the body of it. So you'll see that this shirt that I'm wearing actually looks pretty close fitting. It doesn't look tight, but it looks like it could be maybe tight. But you'll notice that if I do this, I've actually got quite a bit of give in there. And so that really makes it easy to get in and out of and easy to wear. And if you have a little bit of difference, 10 to 15% weight gain or loss, it actually still just fits just fine. It just molds to the shape of your body. So bias isn't used very often. Designers don't use it very often because it is more difficult to work with. It can sometimes use up more fabric than a traditional layout because you're laying everything on the diagonal. But there are ways to work around that and use those scraps for other things, which is what we do here at Tangle 6. But it just tends to produce a nice flattering result. You'll notice that it kind of flares out a little bit, and that's because of the bias. It flares out a little bit in the front without making you look preggers, which is nice, and it just kind of gives a nice shape to a shirt. So that is an explanation of the bias. There you have it.